So you think they're gone? They're not gone. Listen to Mitch McConnell about what they're going to do the next time.
No, look, but for the last election, we wouldn't be having this conversation. In the previous Congress, when the Democrats ran everything, we increased spending 24%, we increased the debt 35%. It's completely changed the conversation. We're going in a different direction. And at the risk of being redundant, let me say again, we'll be back with the next president when he asks us to raise the debt ceiling, going for the second step, and then the third step. We're going to continue this trajectory as long as the American people will give us enough support here in Congress and maybe even give us a president who's similarly inclined to finish the job.
Well, that is half true and half a lie. The part that's true is if Obama wins the re-election, they're going to hold him hostage again and again and again. And they're going to play this trick with him, and they know that's what he does. He's a serial folder, and he'll give them what they want every single time. So what's the point of electing a Democratic president if Mitch McConnell knows that he holds them by the you-know-what? Okay, if they get a Republican president, they won't do any of this. How do I know? History is our guide. Ronald Reagan raised the debt ceiling 18 times. Republicans never did a damn thing about it, never said a word about it. George W. Bush raised the debt ceiling clean 7 times. No spending cuts whatsoever, and not a peep from the Republicans. If they have a Republican president, they'll go back to their old spending ways. You know who the last Republican president to balance the budget was? Dwight Eisenhower. They never balanced the budget. They don't give a damn about balancing the budget. The only thing they care about is redistributing the wealth up to the top. So they're saying, look, if we got a Republican president, we'll just get even more tax cuts for the rich. And then if the budget isn't balanced, who cares, right? But if it's a Democratic president, then we're going to pretend to care about the budget and go, oh, no, you got to give us those spending cuts, and you got to make sure that you incentivize business by giving them more tax cuts. You better do it, because we're going to hold the country hostage again and again, as he pointed out. But he's not done. One more.
So I'm comfortable we're not going to raise taxes coming out of this joint committee. I'm also highly optimistic that we'll be able to get the kind of entitlement reform that we could not get in negotiation with the president. Just to take you back to these discussions I've been in for the last couple of months. Right. The price for major entitlement reform with this president was a big tax increase. That will not happen in this joint committee. And if the president is presented with a bill that's passed both the House and Senate, I think there's zero chance he would veto it.
Do you understand what he just said there? Because that is critical. He said, look, we're going to go to the Super Congress, and we're going to cut your entitlements, what they call entitlements, Social Security and Medicare. Remember, you're entitled to them because you paid into them your whole life, okay? You paid into them. He says, we're going to cut those anyway, and we're not going to do any tax increases. And once we pass it, what's the president going to do? He's not going to veto it. There's 0% chance. We already know the president has no spine whatsoever. We already know that we took him for everything he's got in the Bush tax cuts that we got repeated back in December, in the budget deal where we held him hostage, and in this debt ceiling deal. He's never going to fight us. He's going to give us everything we want. So there'll be no tax increases for the rich. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? No. All we're going to do is slash Social Security and Medicare, and Obama will sign the bill. That's what the Super Congress is planning. And if you think that's not true, well, then you haven't watched any of the Obama administration. Unfortunately, Mitch McConnell's totally right there. And they will get whatever they want out of Obama. You got to start the fight now. You know the easiest way to support the show? Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Totally free. Press the button. Boom.
Yeah, you subscribe, and every time we upload a video, you get notified about it, so you're always in the loop.
You can see all of our videos whenever you want to. Fun for everybody.
Not only fun, it's the only way that we're able to be independent media.
And then you can say about our show,
by jumping in.
People who watch our show are very informed.
I don't know what else to say about it. Oh, there it is.